It was the middle of the night when I first realized it wasn't just stress. The pain was sharp, shooting from my chest to my arm. My heart was racing, but it wasn't a panic attack. No, this was something far more sinister. And as a doctor, I knew that every ticking second was a warning. But what really killed me in that moment wasn't the pain, it was the realization that it didn't have to happen. I had been living a lie. I'd eaten what everyone told me to. Clean meals, heart-healthy foods. Yet my body was betraying me. The sad part? It wasn't just me. Every day, people like you are unknowingly poisoning themselves with foods that are doing nothing but slowly, quietly destroying their hearts. And no, I'm not talking about the obvious stuff, fast food, candy, or sodas. I'm talking about the foods you think are doing you good. The ones you eat because everyone says they're healthy. This is what I've learned in years of practice: the heart doesn't scream for help, it whispers. You might not notice it, but it's already starting. Your arteries are slowly getting clogged. Your blood pressure is creeping up. And by the time you notice the first signs, it might already be too late. Let me tell you about 10 foods that ruin your heart. They're silent killers, and no one talks about them. They're the ones you thought were safe, even beneficial. But they're quietly sabotaging your heart, your arteries, your entire cardiovascular system. And here's the shocking part: you're probably eating some of them right now. 1. The smoothie that is slowly killing you. That smoothie you have every morning, thinking it's a health boost? What if I told you it's actually doing the exact opposite? Packed with fruit, chia seeds, and almond milk, it feels like a healthy choice, right? But the truth is, these smoothies are often overloaded with hidden sugars and carbs that are silently raising your blood sugar levels. That's right, healthy fruits like bananas and pineapples, in excess, spike your blood sugar, putting you at greater risk for heart disease. The natural sugars might seem harmless, but when your body is constantly flooded with them, your arteries get inflamed. Your heart works overtime to keep up. The worst part? You don't even realize it until your blood pressure is off the charts, or worse, a stroke is knocking on your door. 2. The fat you can't see, avocado. I know. You've been told that avocado is good fat, heart-healthy fat. And sure, it's true. It's better than the processed junk in a bag of chips. But guess what? In moderation, it's fantastic. But when you start piling half an avocado onto everything from toast to salads, the excess fat can actually strain your heart. The fats in avocado are heart healthy, yes, but too much of them can raise cholesterol levels and even increase the risk of plaque building up in your arteries. It's the kind of thing that happens over time, until one day, you're sitting in a doctor's office with high cholesterol and an inflamed heart, wondering how it all went so wrong. 3. The health drink everyone swears by, almond milk. This one is tricky. Almond milk, it sounds so pure, so clean. But here's the catch: most store-bought almond milk is a sugar-laden nightmare. Sure, it's low in calories, but the sugar content? It's off the charts. If you're drinking it every day, assuming it's a safe alternative to dairy, you're putting your heart at risk without even realizing it. The sugar wreaks havoc on your blood vessels, leading to damage over time. Your arteries slowly become less flexible, more rigid, and more likely to become clogged. Think that almond milk is the cure-all for dairy? Think again. 4. The inflammation bomb, yogurt. I'm sorry, but the truth has to be said: that yogurt you eat every day for your gut health might just be the thing causing heart damage. Especially the ones flavored with fruit or sugar. Sure, yogurt is packed with probiotics that help your stomach, but those extra grams of sugar are wreaking havoc on your blood sugar levels. And the sugar doesn't just stop at your waistline, it targets your arteries, too. What's worse, many people think yogurt is harmless, and they end up eating it 3 times a day, believing they're doing their body a favor. Little do they know, they're accelerating the aging of their heart. 5. the salad killer, olive oil. Don't you just love that drizzling of olive oil on your salad, thinking you're making a heart-healthy choice? I've got news for you, it's not as innocent as it seems. Olive oil, especially the processed versions, are packed with omega-6 fatty acids, which, when consumed in excess, can increase inflammation in your body. We've been conditioned to believe that more oil equals healthier fat, but the reality is that too much of it can clog your arteries and lead to heart disease. I've seen patients who thought they were doing the right thing with their healthy salads, only to realize that their olive oil habit was making them sick. 6. The deceptive perfection, whole wheat bread. We all love a good sandwich, right? And what's better than whole wheat bread, touted as the better choice? But here's the cold, hard truth, even whole wheat bread can be a killer for your heart. It's packed with carbs that can turn into sugar quickly in your body, raising your blood sugar levels and contributing to heart disease. It's a trap that's been marketed as the perfect choice, while it's actually just another piece of the puzzle that's quietly wrecking your health. 7. The misleading, healthy snack, granola bars. Granola bars. They're so convenient. So tasty. And they're often marketed as a healthy snack, full of oats and nuts. But take a closer look. Most of them are packed with refined sugars and artificial additives. The nuts might be the only healthy part of the bar, but everything else is contributing to the same blood sugar spikes and crashes that are damaging your heart. Your arteries are slowly suffocating under the pressure of these hidden sugar bombs. It's not just a granola bar, it's a recipe for heart failure. 8. The heart-healthy cereal, oatmeal. I'm sure you've heard that oatmeal is the ultimate heart-healthy food, and in some ways, it is. But here's where people go wrong: they pile on the sugar, the dried fruit, and the milk, turning a potentially healthy breakfast into a ticking time bomb. What started out as a healthy meal can now be packed with sugars and unhealthy fats that send your heart into overdrive. Don't be fooled by the oatmeal craze, it's only as good as what you put into it. 9. The sweet betrayal, fruit juice. That glass of fruit juice you have every morning? Yeah, it's packed with sugar. Even if it's labeled 100% natural or no added sugars, it's still a sugar disaster for your heart. The sugars in fruit juice are absorbed quickly into your bloodstream, causing a surge in your insulin levels. This is the kind of sugar that wears down your arteries, leading to a buildup of plaque that blocks blood flow and strains your heart. You're drinking your way to a heart attack without even realizing it. 10. The lean meat, chicken breast. I know. It's lean. It's protein-packed. It's supposed to be a great choice for heart health. But here's the problem: even chicken breast, when eaten too often and without balancing fats, can lead to inflammation. It might not be a direct cause of heart disease, but eating it as the main part of every meal can trigger processes in your body that accelerate artery damage. And when you add the processed chicken products like nuggets or lunch meats, the situation gets even worse. The real shocker? Most people are already consuming these foods daily, believing they're healthy. It's time to open your eyes. What you think is healthy may be the very thing silently sabotaging your heart. I'll be honest with you, everything I just told you, it's only the beginning. The real story is much darker, more insidious. The foods that ruin your heart don't just feel bad, they are bad, and their effects go beyond anything most people understand. Your arteries, your heart, and your overall health are like an intricate system of gears. When one part breaks, the rest follows, silently and without mercy. Take a moment and think about the foods you eat every day, the ones you thought were good for you. That's where the real danger lies. It's the deception, the belief that what you're consuming is keeping you healthy, when in fact, it's breaking down your body bit by bit, day by day. These foods don't cause instant heart failure, they're far more dangerous than that. They gradually destroy you. You can't just rely on your doctor to catch this before it's too late. The truth is, you're already doing it to yourself. And I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to wake you up, because if you don't change now, it might be too late. Let's dive deeper into what's really happening when these so-called healthy foods are poisoning your heart. The real danger of excess carbs. It's no secret that carbohydrates play a huge role in our diets, but the truth is, we're consuming far more than we realize. Let's talk about those seemingly innocent whole wheat crackers, the oatmeal, the granola bars. Yes, they're natural or low-fat, but that doesn't mean they aren't causing harm. Excess carbohydrates, especially those from processed sources, are the main culprit behind the destruction of your arteries. These carbs get converted into glucose, flooding your bloodstream with sugar. Over time, that's where the real damage starts. Your body's response to these sugar spikes is to produce insulin, a hormone that's supposed to help regulate your blood sugar. But over time, your body becomes resistant to insulin. It's called insulin resistance, and it's one of the key drivers of heart disease. As insulin resistance sets in, your blood vessels get clogged with fat and cholesterol. You think you're being healthy, but your arteries are silently becoming less flexible, less efficient. They're becoming harder, a process known as arterial stiffening. This is a slow, subtle process. You won't feel it until one day, you're hit with high blood pressure, or worse, a heart attack. That's the terrifying reality of high-carb diets. They quietly chip away at your cardiovascular system until it collapses, and by the time you notice the signs, it's often too late. The sugar trap, how it ruins your heart. Don't kid yourself, sugar is the silent killer in every food item on this list. Whether it's in the form of refined sugars, high-fructose corn syrup, or natural sugars from fruits and fruit juices, sugar is one of the most destructive substances to your heart. I'm talking about the sugar that spikes your blood glucose levels and triggers inflammation. Inflammation that slowly erodes your heart muscle, and slowly but surely, causes plaque to build up in your arteries. It's what leads to atherosclerosis, a fancy term for the hardening of your arteries. The more sugar you consume, the higher your risk of developing type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, three of the most significant risk factors for heart disease. And here's the kicker, it's not just the candy or soda you should worry about. Even the healthy fruit juices and smoothies are packed with sugars that wreak havoc on your heart. Think about it, a simple glass of orange juice in the morning might feel like a vitamin boost, but it's often nothing more than a sugar bomb, full of fructose. Your liver doesn't care if that sugar is from an orange or a candy bar, it processes it the same way. And that's where the trouble starts. The fruit itself may have vitamins, but in liquid form, it's too concentrated, too sugary. And it's not just one glass, it's the daily consumption of these juices that builds up over time, creating the perfect storm for heart disease. The silent inflammation, your heart's worst enemy. I can't stress this enough, inflammation is the #1 enemy of your heart. And while most people think inflammation only happens when you injure yourself or get sick, the reality is far scarier. Inflammation can develop inside your body without you even realizing it. What starts as a tiny, unnoticed irritation can snowball into something catastrophic. The foods that are high in refined sugars, excessive carbs, and unhealthy fats don't just cause sugar spikes. They trigger a chain reaction that floods your body with inflammatory markers. These markers attack your blood vessels, weaken them, and promote the formation of plaques that clog your arteries. Plaque is what causes heart disease, and the most horrifying part is that you can't feel it until it's too late. For years, people have been sold on the idea that low-fat foods are heart-healthy. But what they don't realize is that in the absence of fat, many of these foods are loaded with sugar. Sugar increases the risk of chronic inflammation, which in turn accelerates the buildup of plaque in your arteries. And the more plaque there is, the harder it becomes for your heart to pump blood, leading to high blood pressure and heart disease. It's the small things you don't notice. Here's where it gets personal. The damage caused by these foods doesn't always show up on a test or in a single doctor's appointment. The truth is, heart disease creeps in gradually. You might not notice that your energy is lower, your joints are stiffer, or you have more difficulty climbing stairs. You may think you're just getting older. But in many cases, it's the constant accumulation of damage from these healthy foods that causes your body to break down. What starts as minor fatigue or a little stiffness becomes something more dangerous down the road. It's that constant bloating after meals, that sense of heaviness in your chest, that nagging feeling that something isn't right. These are the quiet warning signs that something is wrong with your heart, but you've been conditioned to dismiss them. It's just stress, I ate too much last night, I'm getting older. Those are the excuses we make, but deep down, you know something isn't right. The reality? If you don't start paying attention now, it could be too late by the time your body finally decides to scream for help. Breaking free, the truth about food. But here's the good news, you don't have to let this happen to you. Your heart doesn't have to be doomed by these everyday foods. I'm not saying you have to completely overhaul your life overnight, but if you're ready to take control of your health, it starts with a simple shift in your mindset. You need to stop buying into the heart-healthy labels that marketers have been pushing on you for years. It's time to get real about what you're eating and how it affects your body. No more sugar-packed smoothies. No more low-fat granola bars that are loaded with carbs and hidden sugars. It's time to take a step back and reassess what's actually good for your heart. In the next part, I'll give you the solution, the foods you should be eating to truly protect your heart and keep you healthy. We'll talk about real, science-backed choices that nourish and strengthen your heart, without the hidden dangers. Stay with me, because the truth you've been waiting for is just around the corner. And trust me, it's going to change the way you look at food forever.